with cities built in different periods. These three types of images are still coexisting nowadays. And we can find out that actually there are not much vacant land anymore within the central urban area for further urban development. But still the urban growth is still very fast. So in order to accommodate further urban development, the master plan of the 1990s changed, not changed actually, still using the idea of peripheral clusters in order to share the load, heavy load of the central urban area. The idea is to separate with the central urban area with a green belt, which is a very top-down idea. And it is in combination with providing economically affordable housing to the middle low-income population, especially those has been relocated from the central inner city area because of the housing renewal projects. So many economical affordable housing projects has been implemented in the periphery. And also in order to increase the accessibility of the periphery, 13 new light rail lines has been planned in order to increase the change the automobile-oriented transportation system into a more public transportation oriented and increase the capacity. As a result, we can see there was a very dramatic increase of the population in the new suburban area. For instance, during the 1990s, it increased nearly 60% of the population. But actually, the speed of urban development is even faster than what we expected through the planning. Within less than 10 years, most of the tasks defined in the master plan of 1993 has been reached, and the city is still growing very fast. Not only the central urban area, but also the satellite towns around it. So actually, most of these urbanization process in the central urban area and the satellite towns has joined together. It's kind of conurbation process. We can not clearly say where is the boundary of the urban and rural area anymore. So actually these types of peripheral clusters cannot fully fulfill the requirements of sharing the population or urban functions for the central urban area. So there is an urge to make a new master plan, which is did in the year 2004 for the next 15 years. The idea is for the first time to consider the urban and the rural area and use together to have a regional planning concept, transform the metropolitan area from a monocentric structure to a polycentric structure. So besides these 10 peripheral clusters, there are 11 new towns defined in this version of the master plan. And also, these 11 new towns are playing a role of forming two development corridors, connecting Beijing to the west is the ecological corridor. To the east is the economic development corridor. So it's not only about Beijing Metropolitan area itself, but also connecting it to the port city of Tianjin, to the sea. So actually these new towns are playing quite important roles. It's more regional roles. And also, therefore these three new towns are quite important. They are defined as the three important new towns among these 11. So our paper actually, we choose the new town, one of these 3 important new towns called Control, and also one of these peripheral clusters to make a comparison to see how these 2 types of peripheral development is being implemented, and also what kind of people are living there nowadays. And if they have reached the idea, the concept of spatial decentralization, and what can be our new spatial interventions in order to reach our perspectives. So the first case is Tiantongyuan. It is located in one of these peripheral clusters. It's quite big scale residential area. Actually, it is one of the 19 economically affordable housing projects defined in the end of 1990s. So it started to be built in the year 1998 with a planned population of 300,000. So it's quite big. The size is more or less the same as Almere already, but it's very monofunctional, only housing. So this is a plan of part of Tiantongyuan. The other part are more or less the same. So we can see the Qu Lei housing with high density. The public space, the quality, spatial quality of the public space is not that well, or that good. So in the early stage of this project, because this project was built with 3 stages. So after the first part was finished, people already moved in. So the first group of people moved there faced quite lots of problems, like security problem because of lacking of good public spaces. Very inconvenient life because there's no much public facilities. This is the image of this. You see the monofunctional housing area with very high density. And also the accessibility. Actually, the location is quite good. It's near 2 light rail lines. But when the first stage was built, these 2 lines hasn't been connected yet. Of course, nowadays it's already connected very well to the central urban area. So actually, this project is completely developed by only one private developer, one company. So actually, it is the biggest beneficiary of this project. So all the reinvestment for the public spaces or any kind of public investments becomes the responsibility of the municipality again. So it's kind of inefficient project management process. But since problem already exists, so the government and the developer, they did an investigation on the problems, did a lot of survey with the local residents. Then they made kind of a spatial intervention in order to change this situation. For instance, the lack of public space. So they took west part of this area, created a very big high quality area. Surrounded it, they added new public functions, office buildings, and these type of new functions.